So yeah, we'll get into it. So first of all, um, tell me a little bit about yourself and I suppose you have been CEO of Enviolo. But yeah, tell me a little bit about your kind of time with Enviolo, and then we'll get into how we started.
Sure. Sure. Well, my name is David Hancock. I'm 53, so I will spare the whole life story and start with when I started working at a company called Fallbrook because they acquired a small manufacturing company that I was one of three partners in. So we'll start that part of the story in about 2012. So however old I was then, 41 or 42. And all my life, I've been working in really small 10 to 50 people product companies. And um, I had rarely had a great company, a great product, and defensibleness. So moats, patents, some other defensible aspect. And so agility was sort of our moat in the early part of my career. So one of the things that I benefited from by being part of Fallbrook and then later in Violo is having a product and having agility, but also having really deep moats and fences around that product. So it was just easier to execute on strategy. But to answer the rest of your question, my company was acquired by Fallbrook in 2012. 2013, there was some success in the Fallbrook licensing part of the business, which was their dominant main strategic part of the business. In 2013, they were venture capital backed. And so it seemed like they had broken through that sort of glass ceiling of venture capital to success in 2013. And so there was some entertainment of shutting down their product business, which was a bicycle transmission business. And that product business was created really to be a showcase or to be bait for their licensing business. And so it wasn't a well-rounded business in the sense of having all the typical functions a business has. And before they seriously considered shutting it down, some of the board members had some curiosity about what is an e-bike and what is happening in Europe. I've heard something about e-bikes and cities being transformed. And so they asked me to do some research into how their showcase business unit, how it might be able to flourish as a matured business unit. And so in 2014, I started about trying to build a business around a product that was never meant to be the lead part of that company. And it was shortly thereafter that I met you and Clark Smith, because here I am, an American. I'm doing research on how might Fallbrook's subsidiary, their daughter company, this bike business, how might it be successful? And most signs point into that being Northwest Europe. So here's an American with a product and an opportunity, thinking that a different part of the world would be a better place to set up that mature business. And so I thought, I'm going to need some help in doing that, and I actually wanted a recruiter. So maybe different than some of your other client introductions, where maybe somebody is not sure they want to use a recruiter. I was sure I wanted to use a recruiter because I was so far out of my element, continentally, language wise, but of course didn't know what good, better, or best might have looked like. And so I think we started working together in about 2015 or 2016 as we set up that business unit. But then to round off the story, unfortunately, or in some way serendipitously, the parent company Fallbrook was not successful in their licensing strategy. And in 2018, they ran out of venture capital money. But 2018 also was the same year that the business unit that I was running got to break even. So again, about 2014, 2015, we were given the chance to be a grown-up company. And we managed to get through break even at the same time that our parent company ran out of money. And if our parent company had run out of money a year before, or we had taken an extra year to get to break even, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. But because all those stars lined up, the investors in the licensing company decided to restructure the company through the bankruptcy process and emerge as a bike company. And so then I went from being a business unit leader in a daughter company to being the CEO of the emerging remaining company backed by private equity. And so I went from being a business unit leader reporting to a CEO backed by venture capital to being a CEO backed by private equity, and that was in 2019. And we were able to be successful as a standalone company, and we're able to sell a standalone company in 2022 to another private equity firm. And I worked 2 years as CEO under that private equity firm. And just recently, in the last few months, I have stepped back from being the CEO, but I'm still on the supervisory board. So the 10-year journey is from being a business unit lead to being a CEO under 2 different PE shops to now just being a board member. So long answer, but I think it's relevant to what we're going to talk about recruiting and setting up and how to structure a business and how to bring in talent to recognize a strategy.